Well, hello everyone. My name is Chris Whipan, and I am here to show you how to use Discord in this basic Discord guide. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a few minutes and walk through some of the core features of Discord and how it operates and how it works. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this. So you're going to start Discord by clicking on the link that you were provided in the email from Alliance. Using that link, it should automatically assign you a role and get you into the server. You may have to sign up for Discord and download it if you haven't done that in the past. Now I'm going to be using Discord on the PC. This is just done through the app on my Windows machine. Your experience on a handheld device could be a lot different, but I highly recommend for this event, and anyway, using a PC for that. So let's get into it. So you can see here, this is the Discord screen. So I have up here on the side, I have a lot of different things going on. And when you populate the server, you're probably instantly going to get dropped into the lobby. Now the lobby is where everybody says hello, welcome, and all that fun stuff. It's really not used for much more beyond that, maybe some general chit chat, things like that. This is the main text window. This is where we will see everybody and everything and all the conversation that's happening. And then over here on the left, you'll see this column. These are all the channels. They're broken down into categories, which are the larger menus, and then sub-channels within that. There are two types of channels. There are going to be these hashtag starting channels that start with the hashtag #symbol here. Those are text only, and they will only display text, pictures, and potentially short videos that are uploaded by people. But then there's also voice channels, and voice is a little deceptive because it's also voice and it can also be video. All right, so to enter one of the channels, just click on it and you're in there. Now, some channels may not allow you to actually type within the channel. So if I were to try and type in this channel and I don't have access to that, it would not let me. Those channels are designed strictly to be informational channels and provide you with links and important updates and information you may need throughout the open house to get things done and find out where they are. The structure of each category has been pretty much determined. It may change a little bit between now and the event, but as of right now, this is how everything looks. There is some core structure that will always be the same. And that is the first channel in each category will be an information channel. This channel will strictly be information you need to navigate that individual channel itself, what's going to be inside there, links to those, if there's external links provided, and things like that. So for instance, up here, if I click on the Alliance info and help, you can see here that it tells me what each one of these channels will do and what should be posted there and what I can find there. For instance here, the schedule of events will be here. So use this channel to find out where things are. And if you click on this, boom, it takes you right into that channel. Easy peasy, right? So be sure to take a look around and get yourself familiar with those channels. They'll really help kind of give you information. Now, if you have questions about how to use Discord throughout the week, we will have a Discord info and fact channel set up that will have these guides in a written form for all the exhibitors, the retailers, and a basic guide will be there, as well as some commonly asked questions that may come up during the convention. So if you have a question, check there. It might have already been answered. Okay, so moving on. Now let's touch on what the voice channels are. So when you enter a voice channel, when you click on it, you are now in that channel. You can see down here in the bottom, this little corner, this is kind of my personal area. And you can see here it says my voice is connected, and you can see my little icon pop up in there. That means I'm in this voice channel and I could be actively talking right now. You see here I can turn on a camera and I can share a screen. So you may see that ability. It may not be there depending on which channel you are in and what permissions you have. The important thing to note right here is this little hang up phone icon. That's going to be how you get out of a voice channel. Just simply click that and you will disconnect. That simple. Down here next to my name, I have a couple options. Number one is I can mute myself, which is best practice whenever you're going to go into a presentation. Please do mute yourself going in and then kind of find the pace of the room. And then if you feel the need to speak, you can do so. You can also deafen yourself and turn off the sound if you need to, if you're just enjoying watching or it's being too distracting. And then there's user settings. So let's get into personal settings, and then we're going to get into server settings next. So for personal settings, if I click on this gear, I can edit my name, my email, and I can add a picture. Okay, so I highly recommend doing this. So for instance, maybe I don't want to be Chris Whipan for this event. Maybe I want to be Chris W and then Alliance in parentheses. Okay, so you can change that here, but this is going to change it for all servers. So just bear that in mind. One thing I do want to point out, however, is this voice and video settings down here. Down here, this is where you will select your microphone. That's the input, and your output will be your speakers. So if you're not hearing anything or you're not getting heard, this is where you want to go to check that out. You can test your mic here, as well as you have input modes. You have a voice activity mode, which will sense when you're talking and automatically turn on the microphone then. But what I recommend for everybody, who's new to this, who is participating, is the option to change it to push to talk. And what that's going to do is treat your microphone like a CB radio, if you remember those back in the day. But the trick here is you will need to set what's called a keybind. So if you record the keybind, let's say I press space, stop recording. Now when I want to talk, if I hold down the space bar and talk and then release the space bar, it will automatically stop talking. Okay, so please double check that, and if you're comfortable doing that, I highly recommend using it because it helps cut down on extra noise during events and things like that. Next is your video cam settings. If you want to test them, they're all right here. That's pretty much all the settings you need to deal with in here. There's also privacy settings. If you want to look through them, I highly recommend it. But do remember, this affects every Discord you're in, not just the single server itself. Now, if you want to change your name, like I was trying to do earlier, I can always right-click on my name and hit Change Nickname. And then I could change myself to, say, Chris W, and let's do ink and film. All right, and then when you see my name, the next time it pops up, it will actually be that way. You can see over here on the right-hand side that my name got changed there. So quick way to change your name, highly recommend first name, last initial, and then the company you are with is a standard naming convention. Highly recommend you do it so that people know who you are, they know where to find you, they know what work you do. If you're a retailer, you might want to put the state or location that you have, just so that that information is in there for you. Okay, now let's talk about all Discord and all the servers. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see here, these are all the servers I'm in. So I also have some folders. So folders are a very cool way to store these when you get a lot. And simple use, they just click to open, click to close. If you want to create one, you just drag an icon on top of another icon, just like you do for, a Windows app or something like that. Creates it very simply. And then we have our notifications and alerts. You can see here, this one is telling me that there is a message in this server for me. Now, whether that is an announcement for everybody or just a direct message to me, depends on how I've set things up. If I click up here in the top bar, and this would say Alliance, this is the charity board gamers. You can see here that there's messages to read, and it shows me where I left off the last time I was here. But you can see here that I have some settings. Set privacy settings, which is what allows people to directly message you. Let's talk about the notification settings really quick. The main messaging system for this event is going to be from Alliance Gaming, and we're going to be doing that via announcements for @everyone and @specific roles. So for instance, if we want to reach all the publishers, we will mention them specifically, and we want them to see those messages. So what we are recommending people do is set for only mentions. We're not going to over spam you. We're going to try and keep things on a regular cycle so that you can get informed in a reasonable amount of time when important things are happening. If something's changing, we want you to know about that. Or if there's some special event, maybe somebody's got a really cool demo that they were able to get working and they want to show it off, we're going to make sure that you get all that information. So Be sure to check this as only at mentions. This should be this way by default on the server, but just double check it. Mobile notifications will ping your phone, obviously. And then the suppress all role mentions, that would be, like I said, if somebody is trying to reach out to publishers or to retailers directly, those are your roles, that would suppress that. But again, we do not recommend that. What we want you to have this set up is just the at mentions. So I just want to point that out. Now, let's get back to the server. So we are in the Alliance server, and let's start with the basic structure. So we already talked a little bit about the info channel at the top of every single channel hierarchy that you have. The help and information channel will be where you can ask questions and hopefully get them answered in a timely manner. The events and schedule will have an accurate, up-to-date schedule of events. So constantly check there, or if you need to, oh, where's this thing happening? What's the YouTube link? Whatever, that's where it will be. Always. We'll also do announcements based on when they're happening to try and make sure that you can always find where you need to be when you need to be there. Now, I will go into more depth as to what the individual channels do. They are covered more in depth in the retailer and then again in the exhibitor. But just so you know the general lay of the land, the Harrison rooms will be for presentations. The exhibit hall is going to be where we will have all of the vendors listed. It may look different, but just know that they'll be alphabetically listed in there. The individual channels may have a lot of stuff in them, so be sure to check them out. And the last two things I kind of want to show you inside channels are the pinned messages, which you can see here that, I have pinned several messages inside this channel, and pins allows me to see those because as we work through the day, these will get lost. The pins allow me to say, hey, here's a bulletin board, here's important information, come check this out because you want to get this. So I have my pricing sheets in here, I have a sell sheet in here, and I have a link to my website. So important information. The other one is this members list. I showed you that list on the right-hand side here, but if you don't see it, you can hide it and open it depending on the size of your monitor and what you have. So just click on the member list will allow you to do that. Maybe you don't care about who's on the server, feel free to close it, not a problem. All right. Getting back over here to the channels, you'll see there's a exhibit voice hall. So we talked about the other voice channels. This is the voice channel twin of the exhibit hall. So if a company has a channel in the exhibit hall, they will also have a voice channel that they will be in as well. What it looks like when somebody goes in here and shares their screen, let me share Discord. We can get very Inception-like. You can see over here that I have this little live icon. So if you see that, somebody's doing a presentation in that room and you may find that interesting. So feel free to double check, hop in there. Also remember to mute your microphone when you go in. That way you don't interrupt the meeting and things like that when you get there. Hop out of the channel by disconnecting down here. There's a retailer lounge and there's workshops and a demo hall at the bottom here. Remember the menus, they do have little spin downs so that you can kind of collapse them to make them a little more manageable. So again, I encourage you, if you have any questions, let us know. Hop in that Discord info and FAQ channel. If you have a question, maybe it's been answered in there and we can help you out with that. So I hope you found this helpful and we will see you at the open house.